To the quarterfinals we go now over the Copa America, and I'm a little bit late, of course, with a game kicking us all off very, very soon. But who, of course, will take this chance and make a step towards the semi-finals? We're going to take a little look at next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today we're taking a look at the Copa America quarterfinals. 8 nations left. Which of those 8 nations will make that step further to, of course, the semi-finals? We'll get into all of that and more. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe and your one-stop shop for Copa America is right here under one Rooski. We've got a couple of big names still left in the party, but of course there are a couple of surprise packages in the mix. But can those surprise nations get a little bit closer to, of course, the grand prize? We'll get into all of that in a minute. Big shout out to the VIPs, the patrons, you know who you are. And again, if you do, smash your subscribe, boys and girls. We're talking about this, that's right, it is the Copa America, and it's coming at you thick and fast, that's right. But before we get into all of that madness, let's take a little look back at how we got to this point. And of course, a quick recap of match number 2 and all my results and all my predictions in our Super Duper HD. Here we go then, folks. Here we bloody go. Look back at some of the games, including Argentina's 2-0 win over Peru. That was my pick. It was an actual result as well. I did anticipate a Canada draw as well against Chile. It was a 0-0. I went with a 1-1 draw on that one. Into Group B, we saw Mexico and Ecuador duke it out to a 0-0 draw. I went with a 1-1 draw myself. Meanwhile, Venezuela turned on the flare, 3-0 win against the Reggae Boys. I just went with a 1-0 win. Ain't too shabby on that one. Over into Group C, we saw Panama with a 3-1 win over Bolivia. Job done there. 2-1 win in my eyes. I then anticipated a 2-2 draw between the USA and Uruguay. Ultimately, that would have ended the same way, with Panama being a second behind Uruguay. It was actually a 1-0 win to Uruguay. Meanwhile, into Group D, I anticipated a 2-2 draw between Brazil and Colombia, but it was only a 1-1 draw in the end. And I also backed a big win here, 2-1 win for Costa Rica over Paraguay. It was a 2-1 win. So guess what, guys? I ain't too shabby. Now, at this point, this is where I would say we'll have a look at the Super Brew, but we're not going to do that because I'm on the road. But just to remind you that we do have a Super Brew Prediction League. Get in amongst it. Still see if you can out-predict me, the Prediction King. But I don't think you can, guys. I just don't think you could do it. Regardless of all that, we're going to kick on forward and take a little look back at the situations in the tables, of course. Let's clear that up right here, right now. Quick look at Group A. Of course, Argentina and Canada will go through. We say goodbye to La Roca, Chile, and Peru. Into Group B, another surprise package there. Venezuela, they top the group. They're going to be joined by Ecuador in the knockout stages. Say goodbye to the CONCACAF representatives of Mexico and Jamaica. Let's go over to Group C, and again, Uruguay, as expected, did top that group, but we do have a surprise nation in Group in Group C, into second spot. It is Panama, ousting the likes of the USA and Bolivia. And Group D, as expected, but probably not the way around we thought, but it's Colombia and Brazil going through to the final 8. That's right. So that's the situation there. Let's, of course, take a little look at how that does the old quarterfinal bracket. All right then, folks, this is the state of play in the Copa America at the moment. On one side of the bracket, we have Argentina up against Ecuador. Then we do have Venezuela up against Canada, which, of course, is the winners and runners-up of Group A and B, respectively. On the other side of the bracket, we do have Colombia. They'll take, of course, on the runners-up of Group C. That was Panama. And then the Group D winners, Uruguay. Sorry, the Group C winners, Uruguay, will take on the Group D runners-up, and that will be Brazil. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this in all its glory. We're going to start with the top left-hand corner with Argentina up against Ecuador for a spot in, of course, those semi-finals. So let's get into it. All right then, folks, this match will take place, of course, coming at you at the NRG Stadium on July the 4th. May the 4th be with you, coming at you. With Argentina coming into this on 100% form for them right now, winning 6 on the bounce. Taking on Ecuador's side, coming at you with 58% form for them at the moment, just 1 defeat in the last 5. Now, these two nations have played each other 18 times, stretching all the way back to 2004, with Argentina picking up 10 wins, 3 wins for Ecuador, and there's been about 5 draws. The most recent match between these two sides back in July 2024, so June 2024, it was a 1-0 win for Ecuador, and that was a friendly the tournament, of course. The last win for Ecuador is way back, past 2019 and beyond. Who knows, of course, when that victory was. Don't really have much odds for me on this one, but I'm going to go with my gut reaction on this. And my gut reaction is a 3-0 demolition job for Argentina. I think we're going to see the real quality of Lionel Messi and co in this one. I know Messi's been playing in the shadows somewhat of the rest of his country, but I think this is a chance for him to get the spotlight back on him as this Argentinian nation really cranks it up a notch and gets a little bit closer to glory, now with a spot in the semi-finals. Next up, of course, we have Group B winners, Venezuela, up against Group A runners-up, and that will be Canada coming out to the AT&T Stadium on July the 5th. That's right. Now, these two nations have played each other twice since 2007, and it's been back-to-back draws between them heading into this one, though. Venezuela looking A-OK right now, 58% form for them, winning 3 on the bounce up against the Canadian side. Just 1 win in 5, of course, and that's it's been the Jesse Marsh's reign at the moment. Of course, just 1 win in the group stages, but that 1 win and the draw was enough to see the Canadians get through to this stage. Canada, of course, they suffered their only defeat against Argentina. It was a decent display, but not really much to get excited about. Since then, they picked up the massive win against Peru and, of course, followed that up with a draw against Chile. Most recent match between these two sides was back in May 2010. It was a 1-1 draw, and the only other draw match between these two sides also ending in a draw. Venezuela have been a breath of fresh air in this tournament. Of course, always in the doldrums in the South American spotlight. Never really had a chance to kind of shine. But I think this tournament has been a good chance for them to kind of grab a little bit of attention and maybe, just maybe, go quite, cause a few reverberations in the competition and go maybe a little bit closer to glory here. I do anticipate the Canadians to give a little bit of fight. This is a great opportunity for the CONCACAF country of Canada to get a little bit of glory and a bit of a spotlight for themselves, of course, forever in the shadow of Mexico and the USA, but today in this match they have a great chance. Unfortunately, I am going to back the South American flair of Venezuela. They've just been a little bit too on it in this tournament so far, so I'm going to back them to get a little bit glory, closer to glory, and then of course a semi-final spot against Argentina, which is going to deny us a repeat of an Argentina-Canada semi-final or an Ecuador-Venezuela semi-final. So kudos, we're going to have a new match on our hands. Let's hop on over to the other side of the bracket where we do have Colombia up against Panama. That's right, coming at you July the 6th. Now, these two nations have played each other 4 times since 2005, but this match will take place at the State Farm Stadium. That's right, Colombia, they're on 92% form for them right now, at least 5 wins of the last 6 games. Up against the Panama side, back-to-back wins. They're coming at 67% form for them heading into this one. 2 wins at the last group stages for Panama, picking up a win over Bolivia, and of course the US of A. The Colombians, pretty much flawless so far, and also a decent draw against heavyweights Brazil. The most recent match between these two sides was back in June 2019. It was a 3-0 win for Colombia. I did tell you that they have played 4 times, 2 wins apiece. It's been back-to-back wins for Colombia. In fact, they've got 7 goals scored in the last 2 games against Panama and back-to-back clean sheets, with Panama's last victory all the way back in 2005. No odds on this one. Got to go with my gut. I'm going to back, unfortunately, I'm going to back the Colombians. I think they've been the star of this tournament so far, that or Uruguay, and I think Colombia are going to give us something to get excited about once again for Colombian football. Going to give it a 2-0 win, job done for them, step closer to glory, semi-final, but who will they take on? Will they take on fellow Group D nation Brazil, or will they take on Group C winners Uruguay? Well, let's get into that and take a little look at it then, shall we? Coming at you on the 6th of July. It is Uruguay, it's Brazil. It's the late match on this one. All eyes on this one, you would imagine. It's going to take place at the Allegiant Stadium. That's right. Uruguay coming at you on a 75% fall for them right now. 4 wins on the bounce. Up against the Brazil side. 67% fall for them right now. They are unbeaten in the last 6 matches. However, they've drawn 4 of those last 6. They have played each other 15 times since 1950. 2 wins for Uruguay. 10 wins for Brazil. There's been 3 draws, of course. Most recently, though, it was a 2-0 win between these two sides when they met back in October 2023. Prior to that, though, Brazil winning at least 5 in the spin, might even be more than that. So traditionally, this does go in favour of Brazil. I don't have any odds on this one, but I've just got my gut, and my gut has been impressed with the performance of Uruguay in this competition. Brazil, though, kind of a little bit whimpering around, maybe a slow start perhaps, and maybe they're saving themselves for these knockout stages where it does look like they're going to have a difficult run to a final, standing the way first Uruguay, and then possibly, according to my eyes, it would look like a Colombia semi-final, but before, who knows what's going to happen on the other side. But unfortunately, I don't think Brazil are going to get there. That's right. I'm going to back the Uruguay nation, that's right, to cause a major surprise in this competition, knocking out the Brazilians at the first hurdle in the knockout stages and set themselves up with a ding-dong classic of a semi-final. And those will be Argentina, Venezuela one side, Colombia versus Uruguay on the other. That's right. That's my take on it, guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about that as we look forward to those quarterfinals and then, of course, them semi-finals. But until then, subscribe, smash a like, catch you later. Until then, guys and girls, we're done with this.